everyone. Oh my God, I cannot believe that it's been about some months that I last filmed on this channel, right? So welcome back, and it's a pleasure to have you here. So in today's video, as you already know, I'll be talking about certain books that I believe or that I think that every professional woman or every woman in the early stage of her career should read, right? So let's just get right into it. So the first book I have on my list is Lean In, as you can see. So this book was actually the first book I read on women in career, about women in career, or I don't know if that's the way to put it. But the book did something, and it was revolutionary for me because she spoke about how that sometimes women get to second guess themselves, unlike guys who believe that, oh, they could achieve anything, right? Another thing that this book also really taught me was on how who you marry is very important. Although, I mean, the author herself, by the time when she wrote this book, her husband was still alive, at least her former husband. But I know she wrote another book, that's Option B, on facing adversity, and that was after she lost her spouse at that time, right? So, but when she wrote this book, she spoke about how partnering with your husband is really crucial in having a very, very good career. And one of the stories that really struck me in this book was, I remember that when she said that she used to travel a lot, and then she just had a baby, and then I think she was always away at work, so she had a nanny. The long and short of the story was that the baby was crying, and then the baby was getting a little irritated, and then just crying, 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 and she was around that time, and then she tried to pacify the baby, but trust me, her child, like our own child, did not respond. Right then, the husband had to tell her that, oh, ask the nanny to carry the baby. And you guys, when the nanny carried the baby stopped crying. Like she said that she felt very, very bad at that time. But then one thing she just used to tell herself was that there were times like that when she had to be away for the purpose of work. And there were also times when she was fully on ground and she did not make certain career decisions because of her family. So I think some of the chapters in the book um are on let me see. Yes, so sitting at the table, success and likability. Yes, this one is so profound. She mentioned how that a number of times women want to be liked, right? And you want to do your job, but then you also want to be liked. So how to like kill that desire to make everyone like you, right? And then she has make your partner a real partner, and then she just really did a lot in the book. So I really recommend it if you are just starting out in your career as a woman. This is the first book I would recommend. All right, so the second book on my list is My Life in Full by Indra Nui. You guys, God, this book is a gem. Like, it is a gem. So it's a memoir. So it's more like she was just telling her story and just trying to let people see how she grew up and then how she made the choices. So if you don't know Indra Nui used to be a former CEO of Pepsi. Yes, so Pepsi, yes, the multinational company that we all know. She used to be the CEO, and it's really a very good book on how that it also talks about family, talks about work, making choices that you know that you may not really see the end, but then she just left by faith. I mean, for example, when she was going to leave India to go for further education, her parents did not want her to go. Actually, her mother, I think her mother even said she was going to fast till she died, that she rather fast till death than see her daughter go through several continents, right? But eventually she did it, and read this book to find out how that story ended. Her mother did not die, by the way. But then I think one thing this book really highlighted for me was on how family support and having a support system really, really, really mattered. Because I mean, just read the book. I don't understand what I'm trying to say, right? Yeah. So it's Hillary Clinton now said that a must read for working women, and the men who work with us love us and support us. If you are in career, like, you need to read this book, right? So the third book that I have on my list here, or my table actually, is The Light We Carry by Michelle Obama. So Becoming is also very good, right? But this Light We Carry, I feel like it really just talks about being a woman, having friends, your partner, work and then her role. She has a chapter about her mom, and it was just so beautiful to see and to read about, right? So, for example, let me just read what she wrote at the back. I've learned that it's okay to recognize that self worth comes wrapped in vulnerability, and that what we share as humans on this earth is the impulse to strive for better always and no matter what. If you know your light, you know yourself. That is the thing. Like the light we carry, each and every one of us, as a woman, as a professional, as just anybody, really, there is something unique about us, and that we must recognize that. And wherever we find ourselves, especially in our workplace, realize that. I mean, if you are kind, it's not that women don't have to be unkind because you want to um, appear macho and things like that. So this is also one book I recommend. And the last book on my list is, I have a physical copy actually, but I don't have it here. It's currently with a friend. Is Nice Girls Don't Get the Corner Office. You guys, this book is this book. I don't know how to put it, but this book will do you like basketballs. Like when they say like you have scattered the table. How did they say it? That's what this book is gonna do. But really, it's very nice. So the book just talks about some of the mistakes that women make in the workplace that sabotage their careers. Right, the mistakes were a lot. I mean, just and then she was not just to point out the mistake for you. You're also going to see how you can make right those kind of mistakes. So, for example, one of the mistakes that I always remember is sharing food at work. And the reason I remember is because when I started working, I used to do that. I mean, I didn't go around sharing food, but of course, I used to have like snacks. And then people would just come around and ask me, oh, do you have this? Do you have this? And things like that. Fine, it's good. I mean, it's okay. But I then saw what sense was in the book because I began to observe some patterns around some of my colleagues, guys especially, who then came around to ask me for food. So one thing she said was that, look, if people see you as a person that is giving food, they're not going to take you serious. So of course, we are not saying you should be unkind or you should not do some things, but know that this is a workplace. You are here to advance your career. Then another mistake that she also mentioned was that not treating your work as a game. Like if you go to a game, if you are playing a game, you're not playing a game because except you're just playing a game for fun. You're playing a game to win. People that compete in sports, they are there to win. So she was like, oh, a lot of women just go to work and they just have this lax attitude of, oh, things are going to get better one day. But then she's like, no, you have to treat your work like a game. It is a competition because it actually is. So of course, they're not trying to maybe outsmart other people or then just do something like, oh, they do or die thing. But then there are just so many things that we tend to overlook as women. I mean, another thing is not asking for what you want, seeking permission. I mean, the mistakes are a lot. But then she also gives us strategies on how to make do of those mistakes. So thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you learned a thing or two. I would also put a link to where I buy my books in my description box below. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.